Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles Minutes, and tonight's conversation is how to deal with hurt and how to get your needs met and the man woman dynamic. So, I'm the father of three daughters. When I was married, I had a house full of women. Even the dog was female. So, I used to always make the joke my uh, male ego couldn't let go of my Y chromosome. But anyway, so I have three daughters. So, um, some women tend to think that men can just guess what the heck you need. And here's my answer. No, we can't. We're stupid. I'm telling you right now. We don't read social cues like women do. Women just have a more of a different wiring of their brain where they read social cues a lot better than men do. We're pretty unaware to what your needs are. Sometimes we can guess, but that still is denudes um, your personal responsibility of expressing yourself. So when you speak, express yourself. You actually are present. You're making known. You're making a request, and this is part of life. Like if even the Bible says you don't ask, it says you don't ask, you don't get. And so then what happens is people get frustrated and then they go in their head and they get angry and they start being passive aggressive. Like, I guess you're going to guess next time. No, we won't. We still stupid. We're stupid. Men are stupid. We don't read that stuff. And guys, you can tell me thank you for saying it because most of you won't. So, so I'm expressing as a man and saying, hey, look, we're ignorant to this crap. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to guess this game, and this guessing game, it's going to create a lot of arguments. So I got my middle daughter, and she'd get upset and she'd go in her room. I love her to death, and nothing wrong. She's just a girl, and I'm a guy. So my job as a dad is kind of teach her how to be relationship with a man. Like, so she's got me, um, and like you need to make your requests known. Like, I'm not a mind reader. If you want me to be with you, I don't always guess like that. I mean, my mom to this day writes cards and says love mom and dad. My dad's signature's not on it. That doesn't mean my dad doesn't care about me. But women just tend to be better at that. I mean, men, we could be better at that too. But let's just stick with what men, you know, what just comes natural to women and what comes natural to men, and let's talk about having a conversation. So, um, I encourage my daughter. Say, look, if you need me, please, make a request. Let me think about it. And sometimes I'm stupid, I'm insensitive. Men, we're not taught to deal with our feelings. Most men don't even know how to have feelings. They got a couple of them. It's hungry, horny, sleepy, and I don't know, spaced out or whatever. So, in the male culture, we're not taught to, you know, think about our feelings. We're taught to deny our feelings, and that becomes a problem in male man woman dynamics because women express more from feeling based. I want to tell you how I feel. I got all these feelings, and men are like, I don't get it, like because we're taught not to feel. So men have to start like learning how to get into their like deal with their feelings and it's okay to have feelings. I'm pretty macho, I think, or whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty manly and I have feelings. So, you don't want to be all stoic and so, rigid and logical that you can't relate to others. And, I have three daughters. I have to be I could talk to a guy and say, shut up, and then they're like, okay. Like for guys, like it's no big deal. But for women, you can't talk like that to them. So you have to relate to them and how they relate. So I encourage them, please express yourself. And, if I screw up, let me know. And, I'll try to be more sensitive and more understanding, more compassionate and compassionate myself. So I can be compassionate with you. But also, you need to, make your needs known. Express yourself. Make a request, not a demand. I don't take demands. Demanding is selfish and insensitive, but I do take request. So make a request. Dad, can I? Or if I'm dating someone, like you 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 can't. You have to express yourself. When you express yourself, you make yourself known. You bring from dark into light. You make known, you bring into the light. Like, this is how I feel. This is how you made me feel. When you said this, this is how I was feeling at that time. Okay, so you got your side, I got it. Let me take that into consideration. Let me think about it, because men, we need time to think about stuff. And then let me come back and see if I can't, adjust. And here's a suggestion, and how can we work this out? And there's your side, and there's my side, and can we create a third, way of being? And maybe it's not just your way or my way, or maybe there's this other way. And that's how you start problem solve and start getting into a relationship of cooperation and versus the either or matrix. So the one girl I dated, like, can you please share yourself with me? Like, like, oh, you played that song, it makes me sad. Like, okay, I got it. It makes you sad. Why are you sad? And that, like, what, I have nothing, like, I can't even relate to you at this point. I'm not going to catch on here. I don't. So when you hold, like, suppose it makes you sad. So if you hold your sad feelings inside, the only thing you have to lose in this conversation is your sadness. If you want to keep the sadness inside, that's fine. It's going to keep piling up, and more sad. Like, when you let out the sadness, it's kind of like if you take food in and never let it out, it's not going to be good. So if you have this feeling inside, you let it out, and not rage, but let it out and said, I'm sad because of this, and this is what I was feeling at this time. This is, it may take some practice, and hopefully you get an understanding man who can, be compassionate enough to listen, as you start to practice this game. And fathers, you need to practice being compassionate with your daughters to listen. So you get present in the room. I have some drills on being present, and have your head under control so you can listen to them, and your emotions under control so you can hear and be under control and be in this situation, and have your shit together, and be able to create a solution for everybody. So, and if you have happiness, if you share it, guess what you get? More happiness. So if you have sadness and you share it, you have less sadness, and what comes in instead? Happiness, or happier than you were. And if you have happiness, you share it, what you get? More happiness. And if you have sadness or anxiety and you share it, what you get? Less anxiety. It's a win-win in sharing. And sharing is caring, and that's how love really transpires, is when people get in conversation with each other, they don't take things personally. You just say, okay, I got your point, let me think about it. And then you kind of start relating to each other. Dr. Wood, have a great day.